Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17, and I'm bringing you a company first to replay brought to you by, I think it was Panzer Juice that sent this one in. I'm not entirely sure. I think it was Panzer Juice. It may have been Paz, but I think it was Panzer Juice. In any case, this is a 3v3 on Adderbrook Station. Oh, dang it. I was really... Wait, hold on. Wait, was it... Didn't one of them... Whatever, I thought I saw something. I'm like, oh, that could have been interesting. Anyway. So, yeah, 3v3 after an interesting game I just did. I'm like, please, let me just get a group that I know are pretty good at sending in good replays. And typically these three are really good and will send in amazing replays. So, fun fact, no, it was not the last replay I just uploaded. It was another one, and here's the fun fact. Please make sure your game is interesting. My God, please. And do not, here's the first thing that I should have probably got on. Make sure it's like, hey everybody, this is a great game, okay? Here's my name and map and everything, okay? This is my first game, Jesus Christ. But yeah, so, just make sure that would be really helpful. Just make sure there's something interesting or something unique done gameplay-wise. That'd be great. Even if you're not a high-ranking player, doesn't matter. It's something interesting. In any case, as you can see, we have some high-ranking players versus a bunch of high-ranking players, so yeah, it's about even. I have to say I know these guys, so I know their strategy. I don't know these, although I think I've versed this person before. And I maybe Freeze, but I've definitely versed UA, S&G before. I remember certain names I remember, like Appleseed and the other... like the certain clans that pop up, like I remember their names, unfortunately, or the shark guy that I recently called out. But like I know some, like, okay, I remember you. Anyway, all these guys are really good players, so let's see how they do it. Two Vermont and OKW versus a British player, two British players, and a Soviet player. Once again, this is before the hotfix, so. And all that only really fixes one commander's one special ability, so whatever. We shall see how that goes. Anyway, Adderbrook Station's a very urban map. It's a very city-focused map, which I kind of like. I wish there was more city-focused, big team scale maps, because I kind of like that in idea, not just like open landscape. A lot of the more recent maps have been landscape-focused. Again, people are gonna hate me for saying this. I really want another. I want a city map with a bunch of ice in it. That like a water. That would be like my dream map. That's why I like Face of Rostov so much, because it was like a city map that was kind of also combined with a lakeside map. And like, oh, that's really cool. But a lot of people hated it because they hate their stuff going to the bottom of the ocean. Anyway, let's see here. Doctrine-wise, we have partisan tactics. Partisans, okay, pretty good. They can deploy enemy lines. They're very weak on defense unless you rank them up. Even that, they're still okay. But yeah, they're pretty good for getting behind. The big thing is spy network, which you can see enemy units, and also radio, which you can hear what the enemy is deploying. Trike would have a cavalry, so the heavy tank, the Pershing is pretty good. Ranger's very good on this map because of close range. This is a map where I'm like, yes, close range works. That's why this guy picking mechanized assault works, because again, it's assault grenadiers. They have really close range weapons. Great for just going around and murdering infantry around corners, so that's pretty good. Again, you can see this guy is spamming quite a few of them, actually quite a lot, but we shall see how it goes. So Panzer on the left side, he's currently just trying to hold British, so we put a Vickers in this building, very good idea. Problem is, again, you have a lot of stuff currently hitting him, so that could be a big issue, big like center point of just fire, which is a bad thing. This building's a good idea in a sense, but a MG in here is a big target. Unfortunately, running in the Volk squad, also a big target. Why'd you get out of there if you were gonna get back? I don't know. Anyway, making a mortar half track, that could be pretty good. Kill the other mortar stuff around. That being said, with the buildings and everything being scattered, it's a lot easier for mortars to hide behind buildings and then use their mortar hits without being like targeted by direct fire, stuff like that. So there's a lot more cover, is what I'm saying. We did see here Manchester still lose his frontline forces. He does have a MG. Oh, I think he switched out the MGs. That's what he was did. Anyway, so Jimmy has a nice wide range of forces. Some mortars. I don't blame him. A lot of people like to spam MGs, put them in buildings as such. But the enemy team's also using mortars. So, wow, this may be a mortar-focused game. Unfortunately, we have over here, and we have Trike. I mean, he's in mid, and technically, Jimmy should be on the right, but he's kind of focusing on mid right now. Neither player is really focusing over here, which could be a deterrent and a very bad thing, because since there's no deterrence over here, the enemy's going to sweep and go through. Again, minesweepers. Jesus Christ, use them, people. Anyway, so they're going to sweep through here and most likely take a lot of territory over and flank. And what I mean by flank is, it's very bad when an enemy force is pulling an MG, which should be focused on hitting this location, focused on now hitting focusing on guarding your right flank. Because again, this is a very, very good area to swarm through and hit the enemy from behind and hit some vital resources, aka an ambulance, stuff like that. So right now, as we can see, the Axis are certainly pretty much have the advantage. Nice flamethrower burning out that MG or whatever was inside. I'm assuming that was an MG unit. Could be just random units. Also, wow, nice job, flamethrower just burning everything on the inside. That's terrifying. Having a guy with a flamethrower shooting out of a building. Also be terrifying because, you know, he could catch the building on fire in my eyes, but whatever. Captain being deployed by Trike. Again, he has nice wide-range infantry. Should probably upgrade those. He does have enough manpower too, so that's my opinion. To get better infantry. Kubo's on the retreat. Captain did exactly what I need to, but it doesn't necessarily have the capability to kill this. It does some short-range capability, but not all that great. It's not all that great, and the flamethrower will probably hurt it. Flamethrower is hurting this, so they really need to do something and kill that unit very quickly. I think the mortar might be doing that, but again, we have these mortars currently firing at that, so not going very well for them indeed. Yeah. Nice MG wall just holding, but again, kind of close together, so the mortars could target that and could do a lot of damage. Right now, they really need to focus on the center line. They are losing a lot of resources. They aren't getting a lot of resources, and the Axis currently have that advantage easily. So yeah, right now things are not looking good for them at all. Also, it's kind of hard for partisan troops, stuff like that, because simply put, they're meant to like hit behind enemy lines and strike where the enemy's not very strong. Well, the problem is with what they're doing is the enemy currently is kind of clumped up in this area quite a bit, so it's very hard for deploy a partisan unit and them doing a lot of damage without a lot of units being like, hey, there's a unit over there, maybe we should focus fire on that. That being said, partisan tank hunters, it's really good because if a tank is limping back, you could easily deploy it from a number of buildings and just being like, hey, what's up, and just take a lot of them out. So alright, Stuart, nice idea. At least I could hold back the infantry, do a lot of damage against armor as well, and if they send a bigger tank, it could do a disabling shot and kind of hold it back, not necessarily fight it, but delay it, which is a smart move. Let's see, wait, what other thing? Okay, Panzer just went the Vanguard operations. Very curious why he went this. I get it, Crocodile's very good at burning stuff out, but on this map, the gliders kind of sucks because, I mean, a glider flying in, there's not many places you can call it in on, and alright, you are calling it in. Alright, I definitely want to see this. I mean, you can use it as a forward retreat point. That can be pretty good, but you can also make a forward retreat point, which is kind of like, I don't understand. I guess you could also deploy, oh, that's why. You can deploy commandos, which are great against close range. And on this map, having a unit that's very good close range may be exactly what you need. That's what you want. Okay, that makes sense. Especially because you also get this, which is the air landing officer, which is just essentially commando / officer unit, which just is very good at killing units close range and also very good at boosting morale and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a very, very, very good unit to have. As you can see, even the assault grenadiers having a tough time fighting that unit. Nice grenade. Looks like the Allies are getting back some territory, but not like the Axis are like in a bad situation. They do still have a decent army and they are on standby. This map is very close quarters, which makes it very hard to necessarily cover because a lot of the buildings obscure vision, stuff like that. But I'll try to do the best I can. I mean, I literally just had a game which literally they were literally about, I want to see 50 or 100 tanks on this map at once, and it was pretty epic. But that's just me. That's just me saying my opinion for this game. We'll see how it changes from game to game. Let's see. Stewart, okay, it could take some hits with armor-piercing rounds. I mean, it'll do a little bit of damage, but the Stewart can easily still kill this thing. You still need some support. This guy does have a lot of Panzer Shrek units, but he still needs the upgrade, and I guess he's kind of waiting. He is slowly upgrading, but dude, maybe helping out your allies instead of coming over here. I get it, maybe you want to try to get in this house and do a Panzer Shrek shot at it, but kind of risky, because again, he has all this. It'd be like, if he wanted to, if he had the upgrade, he could chuck a bunch of grenades and kill all your units really easily. So, I get what you're trying to do. You want to get this unit in here and fire a bunch of Panzer Shreks at it, but the counterpoint, if he had a bunch of grenades, he could own you, but he didn't, so you're very lucky. Partisans coming in, doing exactly what they need to, killing quite a few things. Again, he knows where this HQ is, so he's trying to kill it. Partisans just stealing this MG. Okay, probably, I forgot, they're gonna run close to the base, and, well, at least the MG's no... Okay, the MG's back. Very curious how that happened, but whatever. Yeah. Huh. So... maybe it's just me, but... Relic, maybe you should have it so they can retreat either fastest way to the base, or the way where there's the least amount of enemy units. Might be a little thing. You could be like, oh, there's a lot of mates there. Let me just take a little turn and go around that. There's still going to the enemy base, but I don't know. Like, I literally saw Hearts of Iron. I'm sorry. I'm going... before I play it, if I do play it, I'm going through it so I know what I'm doing. Just a little bit. Because that game is especially difficult. They literally had a unit run around in a complete circle, and it looked amazing. It was a canned run, but if a modder can do it, that you guys could possibly do it. Just saying. Anyway, Royal Engineers, again, if you're wondering why you would use these, are very good close range. Same thing like Commandos, but cheaper, honestly. So that's probably why Panzer is spamming them. Jimmy, nice wide range of units, but I don't necessarily see any one particular being all that great. Partisan's pretty good because, as you can see, they do have that native camouflage ability, and they can't sneak, and with the PPSHs, that makes them very difficult. There was a time where these things were literally Terminators because their PPS damage was so high, but right now they kind of decreased that. I think they decreased it more on the hotfix. I'm not sure why. I didn't really see Partisans being that big of a deal. Again, Partisans, great death ratio with their PPSHs. Problem, they're very easily killed because they're literally people running around with PPSHs. They don't have all that much armor. Oh, yeah, this thing's so dead. 3 Panzer Shreks. Very lucky it didn't take more damage. Really? You're running away? Why? I don't... whatever. I'm like, you're not taking all that much damage. You're retreating kind of preemptively. Oh, boy. Anyway, again, nice retreat point. And I like how they're kind of combining it. So they have the ambulance here along with the retreat point. So they're both helping each other out. This thing, unless you get, like, the British Medic Squad, which I don't... I mean, like, again, it's 180. Why not just use the ambulance to natively heal? So good combo with these two. Again, nice teamwork. Put my rifleman in this building. Nice wide range infantry. I just noticed what Paz had. Again, Thompson's as well. That makes them very deadly close range. And it seems like this game is a lot more close range infantry focus, which very nice to see. A lot of people like to go long range, but again, I do like range is important on a very range specific map. But on this map, it's one of the few occasions where it's so close quarters that it really, you need short range is actually one of the few times it comes into play. That being said, artillery is still a major focus, and I think, yeah, we have a howitzer over here doing a very nice job, hitting a very, very important target over here. That being said, it's right next to the HQ, so it will still heal. We do have some armor coming in. We do have a Panzer IV. Do the Allies have anything? They have a Katusha, which literally the name of this replay was Katusha, so I'm curious to see if that Katusha is really just going to play a pivot role in this game. Again, Rangers coming in. It is 1 unit versus 3, but it's still doing quite a bit of damage with the Thompson. Nice grenade. Panzer IV kind of rolling in. Really, honestly, this Panzer IV could honestly own Panzer Juice right now, because Panzer Juice, until he gets the Firefly, has no AT. So this thing can literally roll up, say, what's up, and just own everything. Well, until the Stewart comes in, and then the AT forces. And it just did a special, block vision. making it unable to really shoot or see. And well, now the captain can get some nice shots in. That was a nice combo, and also, once again, triple team, chopping out with partisans, coming out using its own Panzer strike forces to come in, and with the Stuart constantly firing in the captain and this thing, very, very surprised this thing is not dying. Why are you rushing a Jagdpanzer? You don't need a Jagdpanzer. Also, thank you for using armor-piercing rounds. Nice Panzer warfare. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah. Oof. Armor-piercing rounds doing a lot, but finally someone using that. Sorry. Anyway. Oh, Jagdpanzer. Okay, nice job bringing it in. I don't see why it was all that important at that moment, but I guess in a consistent fight, sure. Where'd this one get deployed? Oh, this is what I'm talking about the partisans being deployed. You throw AT grenades, you have that. So essentially, when you're always worried about those units like dying, partisans are there to be like, well, we can kill that unit. We'll probably lose our lives, but we'll take out the unit. But that was an excellent Panzer Warfare shot, and that probably put Panzer. Yeah, he lost a lot of units. So, although he has a Firefly though, so that's pretty good. And he has the manpower to get tulip rockets. Very good in my mind. Very, very good. Tulip rockets very good at evening the fight and making it just so that we can kill emplacements and armor. That being said, sure, they are weak, so enough sustained fire and they will be taken out quite easily. Building going down, killing the MG I think was in there or something along those lines. Nice MG behind heavy cover, nice positioning, good location. Even if they put units in here, they can still activate armor-piercing rounds and tear the unit in there apart. Firefly's still there. He doesn't have necessarily a lot of units, but that being said, Paz can make up for it. He did lose some of his own units, but he does have a nice wide range. He's getting a Sherman. I could see that. Again, it will take a lot of time for that heavy tank to come around, so you don't want to necessarily save up for that. You definitely want a tank sooner than later, especially in this fight, where the Axis are definitely going to be spamming units. That being said, Freeze, he kind of spammed. He kind of rushed for the he rushed for the heavy Panzer Corps. Very lucky he didn't spam the stupid Stugs, because I've seen that way too many times. I've seen it way too many times fail, so thank you for picking this doctrine, not doing that. He's using the Assault Grenadiers, but they haven't been as successful as he would have hoped. Again, probably Commandos was probably the thing he did not expect to fight, and Assault Grenadiers are great, but they're not good at fighting Commandos. I hear a Katusha. No, no, it's a Panzerwerfer. Oh, I thought it was a Katusha. I swear I thought it was a Katusha. Did they recently fire? No, but it's moving up. Nice Fallschirmjäger. Again, he went Luftwaffe ground forces. Why do people use this doctrine so much? Luftwaffe can deploy Fallschirmjägers from pretty much any building, and that could be very serious. That could easily kill this thing. Why deploy another? Did the plane die? I guess it died from the Panzerwerfer or something. I don't know. But it can easily kill Katusha, which is why you definitely want to watch out for Fallschirmjägers. I recommend either killing buildings or placing mines next to buildings, because if you're wondering why that would even work, very simple, very nice position, a little bit farther back, harder for it to hit. But anyway, the reason why I say that, nice job killing it. Again, Fallschirmjägers don't have the highest health, simply because of the fact that since they have such low health, a mine can easily kill it very quickly. So that's what you need to do. Now this guy went the ultimate thing. He went close air support. I think this is a great move if he focuses right, simply because of the fact this. If he can focus on doing very precise strikes and making sure, again, he can hold the munitions point, which is the only issue. They can definitely hold the fuel. He can definitely get fuel resources, and I do like how he put a minefield here. Again, the Wehrmacht can do the same thing by putting just a minefield in front of a bunch of buildings, so that way they instantly die. So that's also a counter. But if he can do like a close air support strike, like right here, the Firefly would probably not have enough time if Panzer wasn't paying attention to get out of the way, and would probably be owned. Or he could do a close air support right here, and by the AT strafe, and hurt a bunch of units here. Or if you want to, he could see all these units rushing up. He could do it anti-infantry strafe, suppress the units, rush up something, and run them all over. So yeah. Or if he needs to, he could either stop them from capturing a point or decap a point if they are close to winning or something along those lines, or close to losing, and making sure they can stay in the fight a little bit longer. It has a lot more. The close air support has a lot more usefulness than than just an AT strafe only meant for armor. it's pretty good in that line. That being said, nice grenade. Easily able to take this out. Sprinting up, but again. Wow, that was a nice grenade. Kind of a bad AT strafe. You never do it on the front line. Okay, the reason is the enemy can see it. It doesn't come in immediately anymore, so they have enough time they have like 2 seconds to move out of the way. I always say do it back here because you can do a lot of damage, and they're not looking over this. One of the reasons why I purposely will go back, and in case you guys see my live streams, I will look over them and hit R and watch over them, is simply because of the fact that I know the enemy, if they get recon, which they can easily do because it's not that expensive. Nice plane hit, almost killed this. Anyway, so I know that I could easily murder a lot of their forces without them paying attention if they're not looking there, because a lot of people just focus on the front line and do all the miscellaneous stuff without looking. So I take advantage of that and will make sure that I use my T-strafes on very critical targets. Now this, I highly criticize why you would when this thing comes in, I don't even retreat anymore. It doesn't do anything. So as long as there's enough forces there, I know that I can easily take the Fallschirmjägers out. So yeah, I don't understand why people love that. Panzerwerfer kind of missing the target. Yeah. Very curious what the next hotfix is. I think the April's preview mod or whatever is coming out shortly. Again, this thing's grenades. Very deadly. This guy's probably like, I've been losing so many units to that thing's grenades. I need to kill it. Can you hit it with a Panzerwerfer? No? Then you suck. Oh wait, no. I can't even hit it with my Panzerwerfer. I'm losing my mind. But, yeah, right now, again, they really need to kind of focus the front line because these hit and run tactics have been very, very successful. And they haven't necessarily done all that much to really hurt the allies all that much. They've done they've done some nice strikes, but they haven't been able to consistently do that. And I feel like you need consistency with that. This guy seems to be losing a lot of manpower over time again. Kind of what sucks is when you put this so close and you don't hide it behind the building, Katyushas can easily murder it. And it doesn't take that, you don't have to get, within danger zone of actually hitting, because if you put it far enough back in the base, they do have to move up to frontline territory, and then you could easily kill it. But if you put it really close to the front, then they can stay comfortably within their own territory and fire, and then you have to venture into enemy territory and kill it, which is never a good thing. Firefly using the high cover, high vantage point to just, again, do a few hits and then move out without pretty much any issue. They're still over here, I think, and I truly think this guy should come in with it. Okay, you don't, okay. Should do a recon. Wow, those grenades. Man. This is where a strike right here would be amazing. You could do it right across here. And literally, I could imagine Paz and Panzer screaming at the top of their lungs, because an AT strafe, very deadly, even against infantry. I've seen it murder infantry. So right across there, you could destroy so much infantry. It would be amazing. Nice Katyusha, by the way, doing a lot more damage, hurting this HQ, making it pretty much unable to be used. Panzerwerfer coming in though. Again, you kind of need to hit their vital point, which you keep failing at. And again, he anticipated it, moved out of the way. Katyusha, you're very close to dying. AT strafe, anti-infantry strafe, nice. At least you stop the infantry from taking the point. Whatever. Once again, more Fallschirmjägers. 2-star. Man, you must have killed something very important. But anyway, we can see over here. Let's see. Jimmy does have an Su-85 and a wide range of forces, so good for him. He's been able to keep that rank up and consistency up to make sure he keeps the youth alive. Probably should heal his forces, honestly. But that's just me. Poor Panzer IVs. You can't fight a Firefly. It's just, it has the range on you. Jagdpanzer maybe if it has the camouflage thing active, but until then, oof, you're gonna need to focus. Anyway, oh my god, you cheeky. I'm not gonna say it. You can watch Hellsing Bridge to finish that statement, but you very smart person. He's moving them behind enemy lines while they're camouflaged, telling them to hold fire so they can move around and they can focus on hitting some of the artillery. That's what you need to do. That's a really, really cool idea. I've seen that before on Sittard Summer, where someone will mass produce a huge army behind their lines. Here's the thing, though. For those who don't know, if you when you click a unit, there's usually a ping saying like a unit was deployed. So this guy, I remember, he mass produced, I think it was a bunch of partisans or something, or he was dropping an air or something along those lines. And I just saw that and I'm like, let me deploy a quick recon plane. Saw like there were 6 units hiding behind there, and I'm like, he's waiting to attack me with the full army. Oh, I have close air support. Let me drop a bomb because he's probably not paying attention. He wasn't. Wiped all 6 squads. It was great. I think that's on like the one where my game literally crashed. There was like a Sittard Summer replay where like it was so bad that it literally crashed. But we won in any case. Got a lot of units moving up, and then the Firefly is trouble because there's multiple AT targets hitting it. But yeah, this is definitely a really cool idea. Love how they're placing mines. Very smart. Again, he definitely has enough manpower for it. Also, he could use Spy Network and actually see the armor. So he could, honestly, if he wanted to, he could be like, oh, there's armor over here. I could quickly, like, there's no infantry right here. You can literally see that. So we can, like, move here, kill it, and move back without being noticed. Oh, no, the headquarters, the truck, I'm sorry. He sees the headquarters here. That's why he knows he can't do it. My bad. He knows the headquarters is here. Knows he can't just stroll up because this thing would murder it. So he has to come, like, over here, maybe? But that's really clever. Unfortunately, though, you still need the front line and all that, and you're kind of losing that in some regard. But although, I don't know. It's still a pretty close fight. They are moving a lot of their forces over here. The Axis are, and the Allies are doing the same thing. As you can see, Paz and Panzer Juice are currently trying to focus. They still need a direct arty strike over here. Wow. Again, using recon, I assume, and that close strafe. Oh. Oh, plane hit almost here. That would have been amazing. Nice Katusha. Again, his Katusha's been doing a pretty good job of just harassing this guy. And I'm assuming that's why he keeps losing a lot of his men. Oh, boy. That being said, we do have a push over here. I assume it's a push of some type. Maybe it's a counteroffensive, whatever, to capture this territory. Maybe go over here. I can maybe see that. Man, I want to see this ambush. If I don't get this ambush point, if I don't see something move through here, oh my god. And this is a point where I love it, because if you listen to my advice, it would be like, hit them where they're weak. You would automatically think to hit this area. So I love the fact that they're anticipating that in case the enemy were to try to hit somewhere else. I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes, I mean, high-level players would think that, but low-level players would be like, let's keep hitting my head against the wall. Eventually it'll work, and then they bludgeon themselves to death. But, you know, whatever. That happens in this game when you repeatedly hit something. I love how Jimmy has this huge army. Panzer has slowly been working his way back up, and now he has the Crocodile, which, oh boy, this thing can not only take a lot of hits, but can burn infantry, and in this game with so many city center locations and buildings, if they put an MG in one of those, oh my, the flamethrower just instantly wrecks them. He needs to face it for the flamethrower to hurt it, but whatever. Oh, bouncing shot. Nice rocket barrage killing that unit. Yeah. I don't know. I like how you're now deploying smoke. It's like, oh, we're good now. Like I said, the guy with close air support should really be he should be doing a lot more. Like, he honestly could, like, deploy it and get some resources, or he can do it for fuel. I like how they're also, like, burning the buildings because they're tired of the partisan forces, and they haven't been they did it, like, once, I think? Like, don't be wrong, if he did partisans, like, what are you going to do over all these? Are you going to burn all these down? It'll take forever. Now, I feel like, again, we do have a Pershing, but I feel like that one's screwed, unfortunately. They could maybe save it, but with the engine dead and enemy territory, it's not going to go well. Oh boy, I love how these units are rushing up to a Panzerfaust and not just retreating. That's one of his best units. He's like, I'm going to sacrifice it. It's like, no, you don't sacrifice it. Excuse me, sorry. What was I talking about? Oh, the Crocodile. So the Crocodiles continue to dish out a ton of damage and just burn infantry and everything alive. Panthers on their retreat. They're going to try to kill it, but again, this is the point where at the end you chase something and you met something that you didn't want, which was the Tiger, and also a lot of AT. Yeah, you're very lucky you didn't lose that. Also, if you use Clear support, I swear to God. No, you didn't. You just used light artillery barrage, which I don't understand why. It's a bunch of armor. They're going to move out of the way. So, yeah, you got me. Panzerwerfer not doing... Dude, you know they're... Okay, you could use light... You could use a recon pass and literally see they're back there. I feel bad. I want these units to actually do something. I think they could go out and place some more mines, honestly. We do have an Su-85 moving up, and it looks like it... Did it kill the Tiger? Yeah, it did kill the Tiger. Very nice. Unfortunately, the Jagdpanzer put it out of its poor misery, but hey, at least it did something. So I'll give it that. They are capturing this point, so I guess they're trying to win this by a point victory. And to be fair, they actually still have a decent army. Like, don't get me wrong, the Allies still have a large army, but they still have a decent amount. And they do still have a decent amount of resources. Kind of. No, really. But I just feel like they did a really good job at the beginning, and they just aren't. If this plane crashes into the... Where'd the plane go? Oh, there it is. I was saying this, which... Weird location. Very weird. Again, this Panzerwerfer had one good barrage and has been unable to do anything since. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, poor retreat away. Dang it. Yeah, there's too much there's too much fire over here. Oh, nice smoke. That got you a little bit closer. Crocodile coming in. It's very hard to kill this thing. It takes a lot of fire because just the thing has so much armor. And on the close quarters map with a flamethrower, that infantry's out. So you have to use armor. And armor, well, yeah. Oh, we have the... Oh my god, they're... Panzerwerfer retreat. Come on, please. Oh my god, you keep hiding over... Again, I know why he's hiding there. He's hiding so he doesn't get hit. Only if you guys could see it. Oh, dude, use spy network and detect these things and deploy part. You would kill both of these. Please. Please. Oh my god, look how close they were. He doesn't care anymore. Oh my god. Dude, use spy network. See that they have both over here and deploy it. You know you want to. Anyway, they're trying to push mid, but of course it's not going to work. There's too many high-level units. Yeah. Right now the problem is the Axis don't necessarily have the... why get a Jagdpanzer? My god, stop with the Jagdpanzers. One is fine, sure. You don't need more. I'm still, even though that game, that literally the Jagdpanzer got 70,000 damage, still, I'm in the retrospect, the Jagdpanzer is not that great. This better be the most you don't even have anything for a Stuka Strafe. You are not using this to its full potential at all. And I know this map's hard because you can't drop resource over here, but my god. Please, come on. Deploy. AT forces, deploy. Oh, nice job. You almost killed an AT grenade for the win. You're not winning in this long-range fight. They have Fireflies. They can outrange you. Yeah, right now, again, I do like the Commando Firefly tactic. Because, again, you could just walk a bunch of Commandos up without being seen, hold fire, and then be like, light them up! And literally, Fireflies just fire in a straight line. Crocodile just moves up with a flamethrower, and the commandos just rush in and tear apart infantry. I assume they're going to come in. I assume these guys are moving. They can't even fire. Alright, whatever. I was going to say you could maybe combine fire and do a lot of damage. Like one strike right here would neutralize their entire army. Or here. But the Katyushas getting a lot of kills. But doing really well. And I'm assuming you're hitting this location. Probably, again, he can see the artillery. Oh my god, kill it. Oh, there goes one. Just one more. You know he's here. Deploy it, please. You can do it. Just one. Just one. Commandos rushing in, and now we have the Fireflies. No, Fireflies don't want to target. Alright. The Axis need to save up, and well, this guy, well, none of them have as much manpower. Like you can see the overall pop cap. Yeah, they're just. Oh, why do you keep deploying the Fallschirmjäger? Like this guy keeps deploying Fallschirmjägers, and they keep failing. Hate to break it. Like you're not gonna win a bunch of. What was your plan? What was your plan? Nice job with the tulip rockets killing that thing. He has really no armor. All that much left? I mean, eh. Nice flare. You can see everything over here. I think he might have a minesweeper. Try to detect that. There goes another Panther, I think. Oh no, Panzerwerfer. If you have a 3-star Yag, that's pretty good. And you have a Tiger, so why not? You're doing better. But you need to hit this with artillery striking. Unfortunately, while the Katyushas have been doing really well, you guys have not. I mean, the Axis have been doing pretty terrible at that. And also, man, those commando grenades are just... Panzer just knows how to annoy people with those. My god. Now you're in this big fight, and all your tanks are currently firing at the Crocodile. The Crocodile's like, not doing anything to me. You finally... I'm sorry, I have to pause. You finally have a close air support, and you do that. Close air support is not meant for heavy armor. It won't kill heavy armor. Even a direct strike, a perfect direct strike, will barely hurt. It will only bring an IS-2 down to half health, if that. Dude, you could have taken out all of this. Oh my god. It's frustrating. I don't know. Maybe that's my plan, but close air support is not meant for frontline usage. It's meant for hitting direct targets by enemy lines and causing havoc around their supply lines and around their base. Only if that plane would have crashed into a unit. GG number 2. I don't know. I feel like those, I feel like the Katyushas did a pretty good job this game. So, that's just me. Again, what is this? Mexico is really... Yeah, that combined strike just annihilated a lot of stuff over here, or at least held them back, and they're like, oh, we can't win this, GG. Because at this point, all 3 points are locked down, they're losing, and yeah, there's no way they can really come back. Why would you even? I don't understand why Mexico would be better than Russia when Jimmy has like the most kills on your team, or whatever. Anyway. I'm assuming you're talking about these guys, whatever. Best guy on their team was the OKW player. I can believe it. He had the most damage. These two guys sucked with the Panzerwerfers, honestly. They had one good hit I saw, and then the rest went down. Why do you have snipers of all... whatever. Anyway. Jimmy... No, Panzer had most damage, so good for him. Barely. Jimmy was close second. Paz did okay. I feel like... Overall, I think he just didn't have necessarily the armor. I mean, he did lose his Pershing and stuff like that, so he couldn't do a lot of damage per se. He still did pretty good. He still held his own really well, and he was definitely a supportive player with Jimmy when Panzer Juice when he kind of fell apart. So you can't discount him. But yeah, Jimmy. Oh my God, I may use partisan troops now just to do that tactic. Oh, that's so awesome. Any case, that was a 3v3 on Edelbrook Station. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.